Another short story by Anton Chekhov. This one is called Overseasoned, and it was first released in 1885. On arriving at Deadville Station, Gleb Smirnov, the surveyor, found that the farm to which his business called him still lay some 30 or 40 miles further on. If the driver would be sober and the horses could stand up, the distance would be less than 30 miles. With a fuddled driver and an old skates for horse, it might amount to 50.
"Will you tell me, please, where I can get some post horses?"
asked the surveyor to the station master.
"What? Post horses? You won't even find a stray dog within 100 miles of here, let alone post horses. Where do you want to go?" "To Devoncote, General Hohoto's farm." "Well," yawned the station master, "go round behind the station. There are some peasants there that sometimes take passengers."
The surveyor sighed and betook himself wearily to the back of the station. There, after a long search and much disputing and agitating, he at least secured a huge lusty peasant, surely pockmarked, wearing a ragged coat of grey cloth and straw shoes.
"What a devil of a wagon you have!" grumbled the surveyor, climbing in. "I can't tell which is the front and which is the back."
"Can't you?
"The horse's tail is in the front, and where your honor sits is the back."
The pony was young but gaunt, with sprawling legs and ragged ears. When the driver stood up and beat it with its rope whip, it only shook its head. When he rated it suddenly and beat it a second time, the wagon groaned and shuddered as if in fever. At the third stroke the wagon rocked, and at the fourth moved slowly away.
"Will it be like this all the way?" asked the surveyor, violently shaken and wondering of the ability of Russian drivers for combining the gentle crawl of a tortoise with the most soul-trekking bumping.
"We'll get there," the driver soothed him. "The little mare is young and spry. Only let her get started, and there is no stopping her. Get up, you devil!" They left the station at dusk. To the right stretched a cold, dark plain so boundless and vast that if you crossed it, no doubt you would come to the end of nowhere. The old autumn sunset burned out slowly where the edge of it melted into the sky. To the left, in the fading light, some little mounds rose up that might have been either trees or last year's haystacks. The surveyor could not see what lay ahead, but here the whole landscape was blotted out by the broad, clumsy back of the driver. The air was still, but frosty and cold.
"What desolation!"
thought the surveyor, trying to cover his ears with his coat collar.
"Not a hut nor house. If we were beset and robbed here, not a soul would know it, not even if we were to fire cannons. And that driver isn't trustworthy. What a devil of a back he has! It is as much as a man's life is worth even to touch a child of nature like that with his forefinger. He has an ill-looking snout, like a wild animal." "Look here, friend," asked the surveyor, "what's your name?" "My name? Klim."
"Well, Klim, how is it about here?
"Not dangerous. No one plays any tricks."
"Oh, Lord preserve us, no! Who would there to be to play pranks?"
"That's right. But in any case, I have 3 revolvers here," the surveyor lied. "And you know it's a bad plan to joke with a revolver. 1 revolver is a match for 10 robbers."
Night fell. Suddenly the wagon cracked, groaned, trembled, and turned to the left as if against its will. Where is he taking me now? Thought the surveyor. He was going straight ahead, and now he has suddenly turned to the left. I am afraid the scoundrel is carrying me off to some lonely thicket, and things have been known to happen. Listen, he said to the driver. So you say there is no danger here? Well, that's a pity. I love a good fight with robbers. I am small and sickly to look at, but I have the strength of an ox. 3 robbers attacked me once, and what do you think? I shook one of them so that, well, it killed him. The other 2 I sent to hard labor in Siberia. I can't think where all my strength comes from. I could take a big rascal like you in one hand and skin him. Clem looked around at the surveyor, blinked all over his face, and dealt his pony a blow. Yes, my friend, continued the surveyor, heaven help the robber who falls into my hands. Not only would he be left without arms or legs, but he would have to answer for his crimes in court, where all the judges and lawyers are friends of mine. I am a government official, and a very important one. When I am traveling like this, the government knows it and keeps an eye on me to see that no one does me any harm. There are policemen and police captains hiding in the bushes all along the road. Stop, stop, yelled the surveyor suddenly. Where are you going? Where are you taking me to? Can't you see? Into the wood. So he is, thought the surveyor. I was frightened. I mustn't show my feelings. He has already seen that I am afraid of him. What makes him look around at me so often? He must be meditating something. At first we barely moved, and now we are flying. Listen, Clem, why do you hurry your horse so? I'm not hurrying her. She is running away of her own accord. When once she begins running away, nothing will stop her. She is sorry herself that her legs are made that way. That's a lie, my friend. I can see it's a lie. I advise you not to go so fast. Hold your horse in, do you hear? Hold him in. Why? Because I have friends following me from the station. I want them to catch up. They promised to catch me up in this wood. It will be jollier traveling with them. They are big, strong fellows. Every one of them has a revolver. Why do you look round and jump about as if you were sitting on a tack? Hey, see here. There is nothing about me worth looking at. There is nothing interesting about me in the least, unless it is my revolvers. Here, if you want to see them, I'll take them out and show them to you. Let me get them. The surveyor pretended to be searching in his pockets, and at that moment something happened which not even his worst fears had led him to expect. Clem suddenly threw himself out of the wagon and ran off on all fours through the forest. Help! He shouted. Help! Take my horse, take my wagon, accursed one. Only spare me my soul. Help! The sound of his hurrying footsteps died away. The dry leaves rustled, and all was still. When this unexpected judgment fell on him, the surveyor's first act was to stop the horse. Then he settled himself more comfortably into the wagon and began to think. So he has taken fright and made off? The fool! Well, what shall I do now? I don't know the way, so I can't go alone. And anyway, if I did, it would look as if I had stolen his horse. What shall I do? Clem! 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 Answered the echo. At the idea of spending the whole night alone in a dark forest, listening to the wolves, the echo, the snorting of the lean pony, the surveyor felt the goose flesh running up and down his spine. "Clem!" he yelled. "Dear old Clem! Good Clem! Where are you?" For 2 hours he called, and it was not until he had lost his voice and resigned himself to the thought of a night in the forest that a faint breeze brought him the sound of a groan. "Clem, is that you, old man? Come, Clem, let us start. You'll kill me." "What, Clem? I was only joking, old chap. Upon my word I was. Fancy my carrying revolvers with me. I lied like that because I was afraid. Do let us start. I'm frozen." Clem, thinking no doubt that a real robber would have made off long ago with the horse and wagon, came out of the forest and approached his fare with cautions. "What are you afraid of, idiot? I was only joking, and you're afraid of me? Get in." "Lord, mister," muttered Clem, climbing into the wagon, "if I had foreseen this, I wouldn't have taken you on for 100 rubles. You have nearly scared me to death." Clem beat his pony. The wagon shuddered. Clem beat him again. The wagon rocked. At the fourth stroke, the wagon moved slowly away. The surveyor pulled his coat collar over his ears and abandoned himself to meditation. Neither Clem nor the road seemed dangerous now. The end. And that just shows how foolish and wrong you can be when you let fear overtake you. Luckily, it all worked out. Hope to see you next Sunday for a new story. Bye for now.